Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another Lumio Live. I am so excited because today I have a brand new guest with me, and that is Jana. Jana, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thanks, Meesh. My name's Jana. I am an education solutions consultant with Smart Technologies, and I support the South Central Pod. I live just outside of Houston.
We are so excited to have Jana here with us because we happen to be talking about both of our favorite feature that sometimes goes a little bit unnoticed, but supports so many of our students, and that is Immersive Reader. Such a small little tool, but it really does make a big impact. So what you'll notice here is I've got this slide where I have a quick story typed up about a bear in the rain. Now, as I look at this story here, I think about all of my students that maybe would have a hard time with this. What do you think, Jana?
Yeah, definitely. When I was in the classroom, I had even as a fifth grade teacher, had students that needed a little bit of extra support in reading. So having this tool at their fingertips and at mine would have been huge.
Supports so many of our students, whether they're an emerging reader, a struggling reader, maybe they're learning English. This is a really cool tool. So let's dive into it. So what you'll notice is on my side of the screen here, I've got this little icon that has a book and a little audio icon on it. So when I click on it, it's going to find the text on the screen for me. And you'll notice that it kind of highlighted it there. And I can just click on it and it's going to open it up. So the first thing I can do is go to my text preferences and I can change the text size. Maybe I want to see more of the story there on my screen. I can increase or decrease that spacing. If you are a fellow primary teacher like myself, we love Comic Sans because it gets us that real lowercase a. We call the other one the fake a. And then we've got some backgrounds. Jana, have you found any good uses for those backgrounds?
Yeah, definitely. I love the blue one there. That's really great color contrast for the students that I used to teach that had dyslexia. And you mentioned the spacing increase. I really love that tool too because it reduces the ability to have to print off copies. You know, for those students that maybe need a little bit of extra visual support, they can adjust that font size right on their screen without the teacher having to increase the font size and print off a physical copy.
I love that. There's so many great things that you can customize in here, and it doesn't even stop there. I can also move on to grammar options. I can break words apart by syllables. I can change the colors for parts of speech. Maybe I have an anchor chart in my classroom and nouns are blue instead of purple. So that's just fun little changes that you can make there. And then here's where I think the really good stuff is in those reading preferences. I always think about helping my students to really stay on track with their learning. If they're an emerging reader, really being able to focus helps. So I love to be able to click on that line focus and you can still see the other text, but you can see that we're really focused in right here.
Yeah, this is great for those that, like you said, just need a little bit of focus, a little bit of redirection there.
Exactly. We also have access to a picture dictionary. So again, supports both of our types of readers here, whether they're emerging readers or maybe they're learning a new language. If I have picture dictionary, I can click on the word bear, I can click on the word rain, and it'll give you some visuals there to help me understand what that word is. And you'll also notice when I'm in this menu, it does say that those are board maker images. So if you've got any students that have AAC devices, the images are the same, which kind of is cool that it keeps the messaging consistent there.
For sure. I don't know about you, Mish, but I'm a visual learner. So even as an adult, being able to see a picture associated with the word just helps me remember it a lot better. So I know that this is a huge benefit for our students.
Exactly. And now I used to teach in a fully Spanish speaking classroom. So I always like to think about how I can support my students where I might have a worksheet that I have to use, but maybe it's not accessible to those students. So you'll notice you can also translate the text. I'm going to scroll all the way down here to Spanish, and you'll notice what's really cool is there's even 3 different dialects of Spanish. Now, remember that this is a Microsoft tool that is embedded into Lumio. So the languages that are here are the ones that we've got the access to right now, but I'm going to go ahead and switch that language there, and you can do it by word or by document. And so if I close this menu now, you'll notice that the student has the ability to switch between the original language of the document and that language that we've set. And then last but not least, we can also change the speed in which it's being read, as well as the voice selection. And then once we click play, now I didn't share my screen with audio here, but
Un oso bajo la lluvia.
It is reading it to me, and I can actually, it highlights the word as it's reading it, which really helps to keep me on track there.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so the fun thing about Immersive Reader is that it does work on any of the text that you type yourself into a screen into Lumio, but also And we'll show you this in a moment. If you upload a PDF that you have and you upload it as editable, which we'll show you, it also will catch all the text there for me. So again, this is a worksheet that I had. I downloaded it from online. And if I click on that same little Immersive Reader button, I can click here. And the same thing will happen. So it's really neat because it'll really work on any of that text that you have there. But what's important to know is that the text has to be text that you yourself have put into the screen when you're creating, or if you import something. So I'm going to show you where to do that really quick.
And while you're doing that, Meesh, I just want to top up really quick. What's really great is that a really quick pre-teaching moment with your students wouldn't take very long to just show them how to utilize that Immersive Reader tool and that icon on their screen. But once you teach them once, then they have that tool ready for them no matter what the text is.
And I think that's what's also so cool about Immersive Reader is right now I didn't have anyone connect to my lesson, but all those changes that I was making were just reflecting for me on my screen, because all of us do have our own learning needs and our reading preferences. So every student is able to go ahead and cater each paragraph that they open up using Immersive Reader to their specific needs. Like I might need it translated. Jana, you might just need some help with some parts of speech and some picture dictionary access. So it is really cool because it really is catered to you as the learner.
Right. Personalized learning.
We love that. So really quick, to turn Immersive Reader on your home screen, you have a button in the top right corner that says Edit Class. If you click right there, you'll have a button right here that says Manage Immersive Reader. If you click here, you have the option to toggle that on. Immersive Reader isn't something that you need to turn on per each lesson that you do, but it'll just turn it on for your teacher account in general. If you're ever teaching a lesson where maybe perhaps you don't want them to have that access to it, go ahead, turn it off real quick, and then just turn it back on. It's a really quick toggle.
Yeah.
What's the important thing to know? Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, like you mentioned, Meesh, it's not a default setting. So if you are missing that little reading icon, that book icon with the speaker that Meesh showed you, go ahead and make sure that you turn it on, because it's not a default. But like she mentioned, once you toggle it on once, you don't have to do it every time.
That's right. And it's always really good to have it on. I've only ever really had one teacher that was like, hey, Michelle, I don't want my students to have access to it. And it was specifically a high school foreign language teacher. And she's like, no, the whole purpose is I don't want them to translate the text. I'm
that's
like,
fair.
Okay,
that's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
So last but not least, all you have to do is if I'm going to this new button and I'm importing a PDF, like I just had that worksheet with Martin Luther King Jr. on there, is when I go to import, you'll notice that my computer and Google Drive, you'll see it twice. You have it up here, and then you've also got it down here, but here you'll notice that says editable. So Immersive Reader, again, is a Microsoft product. And so the way that it works is it reads real text. If it was a screenshot or an image or like a Xerox copy of something, it can't read inside of an image. So you'll want to make sure that you bring it in as editable. And as long as it is, when you bring it in and you can see that the text box you're able to select, Immersive Reader will work, and then you'll be all set.
I love this. I have drives full of PDFs. So to be able to just simply import the things that I'm already using in my classroom every single day and then have this really powerful tool work for my students is a game changer.
It is really neat. I think there's just so many different ways that we can use it. And remember that it'll work on any text that you put in or in a PDF or a Google slide that you import as editable. So thank you all so much for being here with us this week. Thank you, Jana, for your time and sharing all about the things you love about Immersive Reader.
Thanks for having me.
We love having you. And we'll see everyone next time. Happy Tuesday.